Alaska, America's last frontier. The best skiers in the nation came to compete in the US Alpine National Championships at the beautiful Alyeska Resort. The competition marks the end of the World Cup circuit in Europe for the US ski team and a way for domestic skiers across the US to achieve a coveted spot on the team. But ski racing isn't the only reason racers pine for Alaska throughout the season. For elite ski team members Stephen Nyman, Marco Sullivan, and TJ Lanning, the Chugach Range offered a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to carve through untouched powder during a premier heli-skiing trip. The downhill is the premier event in ski racing. This is the third time the US Nationals have visited Alyeska. The downhill course is 10,000 feet long, starting at 3,700 feet elevation in Glacier Bowl, with a vertical drop of 2,600 feet. It may not be the Honeycomb, but it offers a challenge to both seasoned veterans on the A-team and the young developmental racers who have come here to compete.
It's a little different than downhills I'm used to on the World Cup. Here you're in your tuck most of the way, but there's a ton of terrain, a couple big jumps, and a couple big turns as well. So I mean, it's tough to be fast on for sure. I mean, it's more so a glider's course, but at the same time, there's lots of technical terrain and a few turns in there as well. Alaska's just great to be up here. I mean, it's so nice to be up here after a winter of skiing on grass all year. You know, it's nice to come up and actually get some.
I like the downhill. This is my first time on it. I wasn't here last time we had nationals here because I was injured. For this time of year, it's perfect, and it's a really, really fun downhill. It's really flowy, it has great flow. With this snow conditions, it doesn't get too fast, and it's just the right length for a guy like me who's coming off a long season or someone that's starting in the back. It's not too long.
It's not obviously like a really difficult World Cup course, but it's got two big jumps and also little terrain everywhere that you really have to work and just, you know, create speed. So it's really an interesting course.
The thing with this course here in Alaska is there's a lot of precise timing for each turn. There's a lot of gliding to it, but it's still a relatively fast pitch. You have to have your turn done right. If you do it, you're going to pinch the turn off and grind below. If you do it too late, you're going to be climbing and not letting your speed go. So you just have to nail that right on.
There's nowhere better suited probably to have our national championships. I mean, they always have great snow. I mean, last time we were here, I think we had 12 days of straight sunshine. They got to push a little bit with where they run the course and how they set it. They could probably use an injection bar and get up there and put some ice down on the track. I think that would help. This is a great place to have our championships.
The Nationals are a kind of homecoming event for the ski team athletes, a chance for young racers to compare themselves with the best skiers the U.S. has to offer, and a chance for the top athletes and junior racers to celebrate the sport of skiing. Coaches have the opportunity to look at new talent and add athletes to the foundation of a team that has had record-breaking title success on the World Cup Tour. During downhill training, all the racers have the opportunity to choose their line and hopefully figure out the fastest way down to the finish. Another Bluebird Day in Alaska awaits the male participants in the premier event at these US Nationals, the downhill. Athletes and technicians prepare at the start, for what should be perfect racing conditions. Steven Nyman readies himself at the start. Nyman is coming off a breakthrough World Cup season. He won his first World Cup downhill in Val Gardena, Italy. And on American soil at the World Cup downhill in Beaver Creek, Nyman stood on the podium for the first time in his career, a third-place finish in the downhill. With Bodie Miller winning the race, it marked the third year in a row that two U.S. downhillers placed in the top three. Marco Sullivan was among the top 5 at the downhill in Beaver Creek and barely missed a podium in the race Nyman won in Val Gardena. TJ Lanning's 2007 season was unfortunately best remembered for this spectacular crash at the Birds of Prey downhill in Beaver Creek, Colorado. With relatively minor injuries, he went on to compete at the World Cup level and has shown consistent improvement. As the downhill gets underway, our three key players are reflecting on a day of pure joy, where thoughts of competition were surrendered to pure powder runs high in the Chugach Mountains. But they are not the only racers who have broken away from competition to reclaim themselves. America's best downhill skier, Darren Rolfs, who retired at the end of the 2006 season, has competed here and also understands the draw of the deep powder.
The Alyeska Resort is a cool place for us to go up and we race our US Nationals. We've done it a few times there. For us, it's kind of, it's a big break for us to go to a place that's so fun to be around. It's more like, you know, Alaska's just huge. It's just like wide open spaces, just, you know, you can ski, you can go race, but then you can jump into a heli and go heli-skiing and ski some pretty sweet descents and some fresh, untouched snow.
The allure of the Chugach, and not just the Chugach, but just the mountain lifestyle, is that it reminds me of how small I am and keeps me humble. You know, it's not about glamour, it's not about proving something, it's about being part of something that's much, much, much larger than you and figuring out how to make it through. It's beautiful out there, it's huge out there, and you understand that you're the smallest piece of the equation, for sure.
There's a reason why only a few brave souls can attack the chutes of untouched powder that cover the Chugach mountain range. You can only reach these pristine routes by helicopter.
The helicopter is like your own personal anti-gravity machine. It's pretty much the coolest invention that man has ever put together. The helicopter is full on 50% of the experience. Our pilots are lucky individuals. You know, they work hard and they're very talented, but they get to put those birds in spots that most helicopter pilots never even dream of. You can feel the power in an A-Star helicopter. It's pretty much the Ferrari of workhorse helicopters. They're a lot of fun.
After a long season of hitting packed downhill courses for crowds and press, TJ Lanning and other A-Team members wanted to remind themselves exactly what it is about going downhill that satisfies their souls.
Anytime I get a chance to go bomb in the powder and go straight, I take it. Because we don't get that many opportunities in this sport right now with all the travel and all the racing, and we're always searching for the hard snow, not the soft stuff, so we're good.
Welcome to Chugach Powder Guides. I'm Andrew. I'm one of the guides involved in your operation today, and you'll be heading south of here.
Finding fresh powder is the easy part, but one of the main goals at Chugach Powder Guides is safety. Avalanche is a big concern. Radios help to find buried skiers and are an essential piece of equipment for any trip into the backcountry.
Have a multiple burial, and so you'll have 3-4 people buried at a time. And the idea is, it's not cool, but it is really handy to be able to push the SP mode on these. And essentially, if we're 50 meters out and closer, you can sort of eliminate his.